must have done something good.
50 years ago, two actors in a gazebo gave the world one of the most romantic scenes on film. The creators were originally going to call this story Love Song. And in that same gazebo, another kind of love at 16.
I am 16, going on 17. I know that I'm naive.
So we went to find the gazebo, which turns out to be very small.
1, 2, 3, 4 arm spans.
So how did they do this? They built a bigger gazebo in Hollywood. Charmian Carr falling through a glass panel, injuring her ankle. She danced anyway. They took the bandage out electronically. As the making of this movie began, the two lead actors in real life seemed like polar opposites. The gracious 28-year-old Julie Andrews and the 34-year-old Christopher Plummer, known as a serious Shakespearean actor who was worldly and wary of doing a movie he thought was way too saccharine. In fact, the rumor is he was drinking a little during Edelweiss.
Chris Plummer has said that he was lit.
Could have fooled me. I didn't know.
All those nuns kind of drove me to drink, you know.
Christopher Plummer, now 85, still irreverent as he looks back at that moment long ago.
I remember having to wait for hours before we were shooting that bloody song. And we were out in the cold. It was quite cold, actually. And I think, you know, while waiting.
And another spoiler alert about the reality inside that favorite romantic scene. Plummer says when he and Julie Andrews arrived for their gazebo moment, they were so tired, so weary, and had to stand so close and sing.
You're that close on the screen. I said, come on, it's not possible. So we both started giggling.
The giggling, can you almost see it here?
What else does the Reverend Mother say?
The giggles went on, and then in a kind of rebuke, the electrical lights began to groan.
Two carbons started to rub against each other. So every time we started a take,
This terrible series of squeaks and groans.
Belches.
And terrible belches and other things. And it sounded like a comment on our acting.
we all broke for lunch, came back completely sober, started a take, and there it was again.
The director stepped in.
So he said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move you into silhouette by the door, and then you can laugh all you want.
An unexpected film duo becoming friends. They had a lot in common. Both their marriages were dissolving, though his solution was set out every night to play piano and drink. And hers? Her husband, set designer Tony Walton, was working. She was alone in the hotel room with her little daughter, Emma.
Truthfully, I was not terribly happy at the time. I was quite lonely. Tony was working, and our marriage was a little rocky, my first husband. And I was there. I did have Emma, but I was so busy. I mean, I literally was almost in every shot, just about.
Did you have a crush on Christopher Plummer? Who said he had one on
Yeah, we sort
you,
of
but-
did. We were never an item, as they say, but now we are the best of friends. We became the best of friends, and that's lovely. Yeah, probably because we weren't an item.
We should have ended up together. We should have had a huge smashing affair.
So-
but there was no time, and Julie had her children with her, which is most inconvenient, I thought.
She says mainly she was naive, like the girl on screen.
Honestly, I was such a twit, and I grew up so late, that and I knew so little, it seems. I am a shy human being, and you are too, I think, yeah. Okay. Said both of us on camera as we speak.
Believe that, if you will.
Her friend Plummer, the seasoned dramatic actor, worked to help get her ready for their famous fight.
I will not forgive you for that.
Children cannot do all the things they're supposed to do if they have to worry about spoiling their
heard them
precious
complain yet.
clothes.
Julie in her life was not an angry girl. I doubt if she's ever sort of lost her temper.
And he said, let's really have at it.
Well, you've got to hear from someone. You're never home long enough
I
to
said
know
I
them.
don't want to hear any more from you about my
I
children.
know you don't, but you've got to.
So, if you could go back and film one scene again, just for the pleasure of it, from the film?
For the pleasure. When Chris and I are dancing, there's a beautiful shot that Robert Wise did was when we passed camera, and you really saw the sweep of the dance with the music. That's a glorious moment.
It is a real Austrian folk dance filled with yearning.
And the other one is when he's standing in the hallway and I'm climbing the stairs, feeling very sorry for myself. And he says,
I want you to stay. I ask you to stay.
and she goes up and goes up the stairs very happy. And I love that moment.
Last week, when we went to see Plummer, who is a classical pianist, he told us he had seen the movie again not long ago and then drifted into a song we recognized. The unsentimental star now grateful to have been part of the strangely powerful story and remembering how captivating she was. On another of those freezing cold days in Salzburg, they went to shoot the wedding inside the cathedral, just out of the city.
So here we are.
Somehow, the thing I remember most, I think, is the way the church was lit. And you could see through each of the archways as I walked.
And 50 years ago, what was the unseasoned young movie actress thinking?
More than anything, I know it's ridiculous, that I must walk as gracefully as possible, that I must be as calm as possible. And then when I see Christopher, I really did stretch my hand out to him. Great love, great music.
We asked her if she'd like to walk it one more time.
Yeah, I don't have the beautiful veil and the beautiful gown, but
You have your memories.
I do. Oh my God, do I ever. It's a long walk.
Next, for the first time, Julie Andrews goes inside the real home of the real Maria von Trapp as we retrace the escape from the Nazis as it really happened.
And this would have been it.
So different from the movie when we come back.